Good evening. Welcome to fifth grade open house night. Ms. Kaiser and I would like to share a bit of information with you tonight while you're here. First piece of information we'd like to share with you is tests. All tests we do not have set days for testing. That means that a history test could be given on Tuesday of one week and it could be given on a Friday of the following week. History tests are not given an assigned day of the week. Same thing for science and math tests and language tests. The only test that would have a assigned day is every Friday the students will have a vocabulary test in both classrooms. The students will be given at least a minimum of 2 days notice before the test. So let's say the test is assigned on a Thursday. They will be given notice on Monday or Tuesday that they'll have an upcoming test. And most of the time they're given more than just 2 days. Sometimes they're given at least 5 days notice. Sometimes there are study guides given for the test, and sometimes the kids have to take notes. It just depends on the subject and the items that we're studying. Next is our homework policy for Ms. Kaiser and I. If the homework is 1 day late, that means if it's due on a Tuesday and they turn it in on a Wednesday, they lose one letter grade. That means if the assignment was turned in 1 day late and it was an A, they would receive a B. If it's 2 days late, they lose two letter grades. That means if it was an A and they turn it in 2 days late, they would receive a C. The third day late, that means after 3 days they turn it in, it becomes an F. And every day that the assignment is missed, the student will be assigned a safety net until the assignment is completed. And a safety net means that at lunchtime, they'll go to a room across from the cafeteria. They'll be allowed to eat their lunch, but they'll have to work on their assignment and complete it. And they'll be in safety net until the assignment is completed. After 3 missed assignments, an LTD will also be issued. 3 missed assignments could be in any subject. That means if they miss an assignment in math, they miss an assignment in social studies, and they miss an assignment in language, we would give an LTD. Every 3 missed assignments results in an LTD. So if they miss 3 assignments in 1 day, that would result in an LTD. If they miss 2 assignments on 1 day and the next day they miss another, then that's 3 assignments total, and they would be issued an LTD for that. An LTD means that they serve it in the lunchroom and they sit in the lunchroom in an assigned table, and they have to bring something down there to the lunchroom to work, where they sit and work in quiet during the lunch period. LTDs I've kind of gone over with you. LTDs can be given also for any kind of infraction that's in our school handbook as well. That means running down the hallway, fighting, any of those type of infractions that are in the handbook, an LTD can be given. They can be given once again for missing 3 homework assignments, and an LTD can be given by any teacher on the staff here at Highland Hills, not just Ms. Kaiser or myself. So if a student is caught running down the hallway or anything by another teacher, that teacher does have the opportunity to issue an LTD to a student. Drinks and snacks in both of our classrooms, water bottles with some type of a lid that seals itself, whether it's a snap-on lid or a twist-top lid. They're allowed to bring in water in that bottle. No other kind of drinks, no Gatorade or pop or anything like that. We ask them that they take the water bottle home every day or every couple of days to clean them, because if they leave them here on their desk, they do get kind of nasty. We also ask that they bring in healthy snacks such as fruit, crackers, nothing with sugar in it. We also ask that it's nothing with nuts in it, because we do have some students that do have peanut allergies as well, so we ask that it not be anything with nuts in it. We suggest that they have their snack in the morning, because our lunchtime's not until 1:05, so they do have a rather long morning. We let them have their snack whenever they want, just as long as they make sure they clean up after themselves. Restroom. They're allowed to go to the restroom before school. When we come up here, we pick up the kids in the gym at about between 8:45 and 8:50. When they come up to the classroom before the school day starts at 9 o'clock, they're allowed to go to the restroom. They're also allowed to go during passing periods, which means when Miss Kaiser and I switch in between classes, we give them about 5 minutes or so. They're allowed to go to the restroom then. Before lunch, we allow them to go wash their hands and go to the restroom. We also take many restroom breaks during the day. They're also allowed to go at lunchtime, before and after specials when they're sitting downstairs in the commons. But anytime during the day, students will be allowed to go to the restroom during class, only if it's an emergency, though. Planners. Every student in the entire fifth grade at Highland Hills is issued a planner. If the student loses a planner, they can purchase the planner from the bookstore. I think it costs around $4 or $5, but it is important that they keep the planner. All homework assignments are written down on the board in Miss Kaiser's room and my room, and the students are expected to write those in their planner so that you can keep up daily with what our assignments are. And of course, the assignments will also be posted in a designated area in the room, which in Miss Kaiser's room and my room, they're both in the front of the classroom. Students also should have a 1-inch binder that was on the supply list, and the binder will be used to keep their planner in, their assignments, their study guides, and their homework in an organized manner. And we'll show them how to do that starting with the first day of school. We'll put their binders together. Binders can go home with them, they just need to be brought back every day. And we ask you to check your students' binder also to make sure they have it nice, neat, and organized. They also have a yellow take-home folder that'll be inside of the binder. And on one side of that, we'll have them put their homework assignments. On the other side of it will be the return to school so that they know when they've completed their work, they've returned it on the return to school side. They also need to have inside of there 8 dividers inside of the binder, and we use those for subjects to put their social studies study guides, their science study guides, their math homework. So we use those binders or tabs for that. Birthdays. We like birthdays in our room. So you may bring in a snack for the class to celebrate. We usually have the snacks at the end of the day. Per school corporation policy, the snacks must be bought from the store. Can't be any homemade products, and they have to contain no products made from peanuts or from milk. So I know that's kind of a point that people do not know what that is in our school corporation policy. We do celebrate unbirthdays. They can be celebrated at any point during the school year after making arrangements with our homeroom teacher. So just give your student's homeroom teacher a call and tell them that your son or daughter's birthday is like in June, but they want to celebrate it in April, and we'll be glad to work it out and have them bring in something. Next, we do have a fall, winter, and Valentine's Day party. Those are the only parties of the year that we have. In the back of the classrooms on the table, we have a sign-up sheet that's located in the back of the room. We ask you to fill that out if you'd like to volunteer. Also, in the packet that's on the desk on the very last page is a little bit of an information page that Ms. Kaiser and I would like to have you fill out that has email addresses and phone numbers that you can be reached at, and also if you'd like to volunteer for parties. So that way when it comes time to have the fall, winter, or Valentine's Day party, we can pull those out and send out emails and say, would you like to volunteer to help organize this party or to help volunteer with the party? This is what our schedule looks like. Under Kaiser, that's her schedule for the day, so that tells you where her classroom will be at during what periods of the day. And under Campbell is where my classroom would be during the day. And the K means Kaiser, and the C means Campbell. So if you look at Miss Kaiser's schedule where it says from 9 to 9:40 writing, that means she would have writing with my class, and I would have writing with Miss Kaiser's class. So basically, Miss Kaiser would have my homeroom from 9 until about 12:30 in the morning, and then she would have her room back at the end of the day from 12:30 until the end of the day. And same thing would be for me. My homeroom would go to Miss Kaiser in the morning, and then I would have them back in the afternoon. Another thing, a very important tool that Miss Kaiser and I use is the Remind 101 feature. It allows us to communicate with you guys instead of sending newsletters home. What Remind 101 does is it allows us to send you a text or an email. You can decide which one of those you want to sign up for, but located in the back of the room on a table is a stack of papers that has the Remind 101 information and how to sign up for it. So if you would take the time to sign up for that, Ms. Kaiser and I send all kinds of important information out that way about tests, about upcoming events here at school, and any other type of information. We ask that when you're here this evening, that if you brought stuff for your child to put away inside their desk, we ask that they put everything inside the locker and not inside the desk, because we're switching classes. We ask them to keep everything inside their locker so that the desks are clean, so that when they come in to the other classroom, they can put their stuff inside the desk so that nothing's on the floor, and then when they leave, they take up the stuff out of the desk, put it back in the bin, and take it back to the other classroom with them. So feel free, if you came in the middle of the video, to stay and watch it again, because it'll re-loop and play again here in just a second. And Miss Kaiser and I will be around to answer any questions if you have any. Thank you, and have a nice day.